Hey everyone, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and welcome back to another video. So, I've been kind of following along with the Comical Canadian, his channel got deleted, which ultimately was a good thing, and then it got reinstated, and I was like, oh, god dang it. But the video that I made, of all things, popped up, and it pops up above the search results for his channel. So, it's good that at least one video that one of us made, regardless if it's me or anyone else, but one video is up there, right? So I wanted to think about, how could we stop this from happening, right? Because scams like this happen when money's involved. Sometimes it happens when you can just get fame, but a lot of it happens because money's involved, right? And it boils down to lack of education by both kids and parents. And specifically, I'm going to talk about parents in this video. I think that people like the Comical Canadian making a ton of money is the fault of parents not understanding what an actual internet scam looks like, right? Now, we have to remember that the internet's been around since, I wasn't even alive and the internet was still around. For me, in my personal kind of timeline of the world, the internet as we know it didn't really form until 1998, right? So the internet's been around for 22 years, and it's understandable to think that not much has evolved since then, right? If you look at TV throughout, from like 1950 to 1970 or 1970 to 90, like a 20-year span in television, the general art form of television doesn't change, but the quality changes, right? And it wouldn't be the fault of our parents to think that, right? But that's just not the case with the internet, right? I mean, if you think about it, think of the internet 10 years ago, how different of a place it was, right? And then 10 years before that, 20 years ago was the year 2000. All the things that we use today, except for Google, weren't around. Google and email, right? And 10 years ago, 10 years ago when Twitter was around, if you guys remember, athletes were or were not allowed to use Twitter. Now it's like, well, everyone has Twitter, right? Everyone's allowed to use it. But before, sports companies were banning, certain players from using Twitter. It's a different world we lived in. 2010 YouTube. It wasn't every day you got ad money off YouTube. In fact, at 2009 and 10, gaming wasn't even a thing, right? More or less making money live streaming. So what really bothers me is the way that the Comical Canadian makes his money is through donations using Stream Elements. And Stream Elements requires you to use some form of payment like a PayPal. And PayPal's the easiest way to do it. But to get a PayPal, you must have someone who's 18 or older sign it. Whether you're the owner, so if I'm 21, I can sign for my own PayPal. If I was 17, I would have to have one of my parents sign me up. And if they're little kids, how do you get the money to the streamer? Well, through PayPal. Well, how do you get a little kid to have a PayPal? The parent has to create the PayPal account. And the parents very clearly did not question why their kids were giving this guy money hard enough, right? What, you're going to believe your 8-year-old that some dude plays a video game and he's really funny, right? And he cares about the audience? Really? If you guys don't know what computer literacy is, it's a term used by people that says, do you understand how computers work? And our parents grew up with computer literacy being using the internet, right? Email, using a word processor, so Microsoft Word, and understanding how to manage files, right? That's not the case anymore. In fact, I think a lot of our parents are now computer illiterate. How many people, if they have a Wi-Fi problem, do they actually know how to Google the proper, use the proper words to figure out their problem? Probably not a lot of our parents. How many of our parents understand how to properly check an email address beyond, oh, the email address just asks for my social security number, right? There's a lot of emails you get from YouTube that look real that older people will fall susceptible to because they don't see it's from youtube.co.usa.irs, right? They're gonna fall for that. They don't know how to check that. Whether you want to call it ignorance or lack of knowledge, I think that people, not the Comical Canadian, but people being able to go up like this. It's very easy to find people like this, by the way. People being able to do this is a lack of education on our parents' part. Our parents do not understand how important it is to understand advanced internet scams like this. Yeah, they've probably heard for the past 10 years that being a YouTuber is a real job. They're like, oh, they don't understand how easy it is to create scams that succeed because, frankly, I don't know if it's they don't care enough or, we don't educate them enough or whatever the case may be. And then another thing is a lot of people get these comments from people like the Comical Canadian that say great job and end up in the spam folder, and they don't understand why these comments end up in the spam folder. I have yet to find a document or a Creator Academy thing that tells you specifically why compliments end up in the spam folder. I mean, you just can't. Eventually you figure it out, right? Hopefully eventually you figure it out. But YouTube has this great resource called the Creator Academy where they really do set you up with, this is how you grow a community. This is how you foster a community. This is how you make a video, the basics of making a video. And YouTube teaches you all of that, themselves. They don't teach you how to, not fall for these scams. I found scams like this throughout my years because my channel's still small enough to receive these kinds of comments, and I mean, there was one comment I found 2 years ago or 3 years ago where someone said, if you give me $1 on Patreon, that little sidebar of featured channels, they'll put you there for a day. Now, listen, guys, that doesn't work, right? Any channels you put there, I don't even know why it's still a thing. It does nothing. But that, there was about 115 people that supported this guy's Patreon before Patreon actually deleted it, of all things. And, all that money that person would have gotten is no longer existent, thank God, or they don't get it. But, these scams happen. Now, I don't think we need to go as far as making videos about, how to spot YouTube scams. We don't need to make videos. I mean, if you want to, go for it. But I think just telling more people about it, talking about it, this is something, a topic that I haven't even thought about talking about. And I realized that if I even told one person, that helps them, that gives them that knowledge, and then the knowledge spreads. We got to spread the knowledge. And maybe some of us make videos, some don't. We know at this point that some parents just don't understand. I mean, if there's enough money to be made from, these kids where it's actually worth it to set up a scam, then that means a large number of parents don't know about these scams. Right? Do you guys remember Elsa Gate? That was where a bunch of really disturbing cartoons were being made and shown to little kids, and the people made a bunch of money, right? That's just because parents throw the iPad at the kid, and then that's it, Yeah, just throw the iPad at the kid. That solves your problem. So, I think this goes into my personal philosophy. Parenting, like anything, is a skill. And because it's a skill, a lot of people aren't going to be as good at it as they think they are. And the same thing with, falling susceptible to scams, right? A majority of parents are not going to have the knowledge to teach their kids about scam. A minority of them are. And so it takes us who know about these scams and know what they do to teach the next generation and the next generation how to deal with it. So that's all I really got to say. I don't want to make another video on this guy. I've done my part. I want to go back to making siege videos, but I wanted to make this video for you guys to tell you guys, hey, if there's maybe people that social media education, or you just see it happening, tell people, just a simple act of telling is more powerful than a YouTube video. You sharing my YouTube video to someone is more powerful than them finding my YouTube video. So the simple act of just sharing this knowledge around and making it common knowledge is more than enough to solve this kind of problem, because very clearly education, parenting is not solving the problem. So that's all I have to say about it. Will we ever solve this problem? No. There's still going to be people like this, but yeah. What do you guys think about it? Let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at teaching little kids about scams. And I'll see you guys in the next one.